Yo, this is Dash, and I am in my kitchen today because I'm going to be cooking dinner. Tonight, I'm cooking some asparagus, some salmon, and I also have some, wait for it, Brussels sprouts. Now, I know everybody doesn't get down with Brussels sprouts and or asparagus, but I tell you, these things on the grill are very good and very simple. All I'm gonna do is cut the bottoms of the asparagus off and put some olive oil and some, if you haven't already or don't have any of this stuff right here, get yourself some pink Himalayan sea salt. I'm telling you, it is delicious. Also, with the Brussels sprouts, all I'm gonna do is coat them with a little bit of olive oil, and same thing, put some that pink Himalayan sea salt on them, and they're gonna go out on the grill in a tent. The salmon, I'm just gonna put out on the grill. All right, so I'm out at the grill, and I've had somebody ask me about this, and Eric, yes, this is for you, asked about aluminum foil. Tonight, I'm gonna be cooking with aluminum foil 3 different ways, well, technically 2 different ways. All right, so first things first, let me show you what I have on the grill. I have that piece of salmon that I told you about earlier, and the only reason I have this salmon on top of this aluminum foil, one is because this is where I have the heat, just from these 2 burners here, but one is to protect the salmon, just to kind of let it heat up more than get that direct heat. Also, with salmon, with fish, sometimes it's very difficult to be able to pick it up in one piece. So I don't want to lose any of my salmon. I apologize for wind noise if you're hearing it. But I don't want to lose any of my salmon to the grill, guys. So what I do is I'll put it on a piece of aluminum foil so that I'll be able to pick it up and pick it up in one piece. All right. Also, you see I'm cooking on the top tier of the grill because I'm going to put asparagus and Brussels sprouts down here. The asparagus and the Brussels sprouts, I'm going to close them up in a tent, and then once I feel like they're getting done enough, I'm going to open up the asparagus so that we can get some I don't know how to explain it. We're just gonna caramelize it, I guess might be a better way to say it, but you'll see how that comes out as I do this a little later. Here we have again, I have the asparagus over here, I have the Brussels sprouts over here. This method is cooking it in a tent. The whole thing is the tent is going to help these kind of steam from the inside out. All right, both of these I sprayed, if you remember, I used that olive oil aerosolizer. I sprayed some olive oil on each of these, and then I put some of that pink Himalayan sea salt on them. All right, and I'll talk to you guys about foil for a quick. All right, so me personally, I don't cook on top of foil. You see some people, they'll start a charcoal grill and they'll put foil down on the grate. I don't do that. The only time I really cook with foil is if I'm trying to do something similar to what I'm doing now, where I'm trying to use a tent type method and almost steam my vegetables or my food. The other time I'll use aluminum foil is is like I'm doing also with the salmon, because I know the salmon has a tendency to fall apart, or if it sticks to the grill and I won't be able to get it up, and I've lost pieces of salmon in the past, so I know already that I'm just going to go ahead, put a piece of foil down, and I can pick up that whole piece of foil and or sacrifice some of the foil as opposed to sacrificing my fish. Now the third way or method that I would use foil is if I was, you ever been to like one of those state parks or a public place and you might not necessarily know what was cooked on the grill last, and or usually I will start a raging fire and I'll get the heat up on the grill and I'll scrape the grill really good with a brush or whatever I might have with me to clean the grill. But there are certain times where certain people, so let's say you have somebody who's vegetarian or someone who doesn't eat pork, and you never know what was cooked on that grill prior to you using it, that will probably be the only instance where I would take some aluminum foil and put it down on a grate to cook with, solely for the purpose of trying to keep the food, like food separation. I don't know if that's a word or if that's, you know, how I would label it, but that would be the only instance. For the most part, especially with my grills at home, I know I'll just start the grill, turn it on high. You know, my wife's gas grill, I'll turn it on high, or I will turn, you know, I will get the charcoal going in my grill and let it burn for a little while to burn off any of the remnants of whatever I cooked previously, so that I don't have to worry about what's going on the grill to be cooked. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like it was a little rambly. I apologize if you're hearing some wind noise again. All right. Here we have a little status update. So I moved the Brussels sprouts, excuse me, off of directly over the heat, and I opened up the asparagus because I want to brown them a little, but they're very soft and very tender right now. Okay, cooking them inside of this tent definitely sped up the process of them steaming, if you will. And my salmon is looking good as well. I'm actually going to go inside and get a temperature probe and temp the salmon, and I'm going to try and keep the salmon juices from running down in here, just because I don't want the things to taste separate. Mix up the Brussels sprouts in here. I'm gonna try one of these. All right, so my asparagus is looking good. This is pretty much what I wanted to do. I put a little bit more salt on it because I tasted it and it wasn't quite the way that I wanted. Brussels sprouts are good, and the thickest part of the salmon, you can see, is at over 150 degrees. I try and take it to 145. It's a little overdone, so it's time to take it off. But just wanted to show you, I'll be able to lift up this whole piece of aluminum foil. And this is the last type or way or method that I would cook with aluminum foil. This is just because the asparagus is so small. I don't want it to fall through the grates. And you see I'm kind of using the aluminum foil here more like a griddle. Hopefully, Eric, this one is just for you, buddy. Hopefully that answers some questions about aluminum foil, or at least that's my opinion and how I use aluminum foil. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe for some more videos like this. Make sure you check out the links down in the bottom in the description for some of the tools and other things that I've used recently in some of these videos. All right, thanks again.